Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. A few people noticed we had some different tyres we were testing out, mentioned we were testing out, weren't sure whether they were going to be any good or not. So I purchased these last year, it was in 2018, I reckon about the middle of the year, middle to late, maybe, geez, I really don't know, July, August, somewhere around there. So basically what we did with them at the time, shortly afterwards we took them on a trip to Fraser. All the other trips we did, we had another set of BFGs we'd put on for the rough stuff in the high country and stuff like that. Not that these wouldn't do it, but now we have put them through their paces in the Victorian high country, on the tracks through the rivers, up the hills and all that sort of thing for about a week. And of course there was another trip before that, a few weeks before. So just provide some feedback. This is more for those people that are looking for a different tyre. We like the BFGs, okay, the BFG, KO2s. Look, every tyre's a compromise, that's what you've got to understand. So maybe the BFGs are for you, maybe they're not. I think for a full drive, for an all-round tyre, for someone that uses it off-road, I don't have any issues with them sort of in the wet or, as far as negative handling. Of course, they don't handle and drive as well as a highway tyre. The tyres that come on the vehicle are best for on the road and handling and gripping and wet conditions. So it is a compromise there, but the off-road traction is much increased. Now, it depends what sort of off-road you're doing, what tyres you need. So on the 150, we've got a set of BFG KO2s. On the 120, we're trying out these. Now, they're Grand Treks, right? They're Grand Trek AT3Gs, as it says. Dunlop tyres. Biggest mistake was putting the white writing on the outside. I don't mind it on the BFGs, it's pretty small and neat. There's something about this I don't like, so whatever you do, if you get a set, put the writing on the inside. Looks like an old 50s or 60s where they had the white thing on the side. Just too much, right? What I'll say about the tyres is, let's get in and have a look at the tread actually, so you can have a look at that. Okay. Now, it's more of a road orientated tyre, okay? Now, it keeps well in good condition, even with the rough stuff, dirt roads, whatever. They've been, just giving them a fair drive and there's no chipping or damage. I've been around these tyres, a bit less protection on your sidewall, but generally the sidewall's not on the track and there isn't any cuts or damage to the sidewall. So even though you sort of look at them and think, oh, maybe they're going to get damaged, it hasn't happened, so maybe it's just luck. Now, there's some other brands of tyres that consistently cop sidewall damage. I think, what were they? The Dunlop something else maybe, or were they? I can't remember. Bridgestone D697s, right? There's quite a few people running those from time to time, and they seem to be the ones that cop the sidewall damage. So just be careful of that. Now, these tyres, I think they have got a bit of a thinner sidewall because they feel softer, okay? They're a nicer ride, so that one of the positives compared to the BFGs, the KOs or KO2s, whichever one, they do ride fairly firm because they're a strong tyre. They must have a thicker, heavier sidewall. As far as I know, they're both 3-ply sidewall, whatever, so I don't know, maybe the thickness. When I change tyres, I can feel the difference. I know that this is a softer ride, so you can run these at higher pressure and still have a softer ride, which is kind of good. Now, a negative I noticed in the sand where you let them down to 15, so in some softer sand, they sort of bag out a lot, but I felt that I wasn't getting the traction that I'd normally get with a KO. So normally you want in the sand a less aggressive tyre. Now maybe because of these chunks at the sides here, they are a little bit aggressive for the sand or what, but I felt that considering how much I'd let them down and how much they were bagged out, which meant I was losing clearances, in between the tyres at the front because, you've let your tyres down. They were bagged out a lot at 15, more than any other tyres I've seen, I think, but maybe kind of just like a road tyre. So I wasn't impressed with that. Another thing I did like about them, the grip on road is awesome. So nothing wrong with the KO2s, but when you drive around on these tyres, they just grip better, they feel better, they handle better. And then when you change back to KOs or KO2s, you do, look, if you push it a bit harder, you can get the KO2s to squeal a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm talking going too fast around corners, not a problem. It's, you've just, got used to going faster on these tyres. There's not a massive difference, just a little bit, like once I went, okay, I didn't think I was going that fast, but adapting to the tyres that you're driving on. So these, really good grippy tyres, nice comfortable ride. They are an off-road tyre, as it says, all-terrain. Look, value for money, I'm not sure. I got a decent discount on them. I think I paid, I don't know if it was $800 or $900 for a set of 5, but you're going to be paying the same as KO2s anyway. I think they're about $300 a tyre sort of thing normally. So for people that wanted the feedback, that's where it's at, okay? I'll say the positives are soft ride, they stick well on the road in the wet, probably better than a lot of other off-road tyres. And you'd look at it and you'd think that it's not going to be so good in the in the high country, on the hills and the rough stuff. It's not a kind of grippy looking tread pattern, but we just put them through their paces, and I'll tell you, it did it easy. I'm quite surprised. These tyres, they didn't spin, they didn't carry on. You can see, I'll bring it around, there's a couple little just there, there's a few little cut type things in the tyre, you know what I mean? So there's a few. Bring this one down as well, there's a bit of a just there, a bit of a cut, and that one there. So, I mean, really light, but obviously they were spinning a little bit at some stage, just when you bounce up a little bit and then you're on a hill, you're on the gas. Not much at all. There we go. There's a bit of, just having a look at them. Look, they're wearing well. So look, what would I put on next time? I'll just stick with the KO2s, I like them, right? And Ange at Jack's Essendon, he looks after us. So everyone that rings up, Jack's Tyres at Essendon, speak to Angelo, say Anthony Prado Forby sent me, he's going to look after you. Good service, fair pricing. If you've got a better price, he'll do his best to match or beat it. He's obviously got to pay the bills and make some money too, so, but he's definitely fair on price and good service. So that's what I'd stick with. That's what I've got on the 150. This was I'll give these a try. I was looking for something more road orientated. Certainly nothing wrong with them. So if you want a road tyre, if that's what you want, that you're mainly on road and you're just going to go off-road really every now and then, I'd say these are okay for that. If you're going to do stuff in the high country where you want a strong, reliable tyre, the KO2s are the go. We know they work. They're one of the most popular tyres out there on the tracks. In all the outback stuff, corrugations, rough dirt roads, sharp rocks, they're the most used tyre and the most reliable tyre. You already know it's always the Coopers or something like that. It's got the puncher, and they're certainly not the most popular one out there. So I haven't got a problem with Coopers, other than they just seem to be the minority, and they're the ones that cause the problems. That's what we've seen in our experience anyway. So if you've got them, that's all good too. I know people with sets of Coopers that haven't had a puncher as well, so there you go. All right? Doesn't mean they're all going to get it. It's one of those things, there's a lot of luck involved. I don't know what else I can tell you about these tyres. I run them more like about 45 or 45 PSI, maybe a bit under at the front, a bit over at the rear, even closer to 50. The BFGs I'd probably run more like about 40 at the front, give or take a few PSI depending on load and bull bars and what you got. And the rear, same thing again, minimum 40, but more like the 45 with a bit more load. You can go up to 80 PSI with the BFGs with a maximum load, but you're going to be nowhere near that. Anyway, guys, I don't know what else to tell you about these tyres. To recap, fairly grippy, so good for on-road, but still a safe option for off-road use. But if you just want the ultimate, I think the BFGs, give Ange at Jack's Essendon a call. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See ya.